How you going? And welcome to Throwback Thursday. I've been doing a few of these now. Some have gone well, some have been disasters. Hopefully this one goes a bit better. So this is a different one to the rest. Normally mine are way back in the past. This one's 4 or 5 years ago. It's about a dog called Jim and a hard night I had in the bush. And it's also a video that I've made, so you can reference what I'm saying and go back and look at the video. I'll put the link below of the actual video of what happened. I haven't looked at the video since I made it 5 years ago, so if the story's a little bit different, that's just because my memory's a bit stuffed up. So Jim was a dog that was given to me by a good bastard, Andy Miller. Hi if you're watching this, Andy, and thank you for Jim, because Jim was the one that I really got Poe as a hunting dog trained on really well. We caught a lot of pigs and basically learned about bailing, which Jim was a bailing dog and Poe learnt to bail. For those of you that aren't hunters, that's when your dog barks at the pig rather than holds it. Okay, something you need to learn to do, mate, because you keep on holding them and you're going to die. Anyway, back to the story. So, we're going up the Wangapeka for a hunt. Now, back then, things were different for me. I used to be on a standard diet, which was a shit diet, and the day if this happened to me, if I had an overnight in the bush, I would be sweet as, bro, because when you are fat adapted and you're burning your own fat for fuel, you don't crash like I crashed in this video, and I seriously hit the wall. So we're hunting up in this gully, and usual pig hunt, get to the top, dogs get a pig, in this case it was about 100 pound sow, and they came down right to the very bottom again, and by the end of the day I was pretty shattered. We got the pig, got on me back and started to walk out home, and everything was sweet as, bro. Okay mate, you're not getting that much attention through the story, sit down, sit down. So, went back down, I borrowed 2 other dogs off my mate Joe, Meg and Buck I think they were, and I had Poe and dirty old Jim. And when I say dirty old Jim, he's a fucking dirty dog. He'd piss on everything, he'd piss on your boots, he had no manners, he'd pee on other dogs, he was scruffy, he'd eat the worst possible shit, and everything was forgiven because he was a bloody awesome dog as far as pig hunting goes, and he had a nice nature, he was friendly. He used to pat his paws like this in the kennel every time I see, he'd get really, really excited. He loved to hunt. He came from northern Canterbury, or North Canterbury, so that's where he'd done most of his hunting. So when he came up here, he had to adapt a bit, and I had him for a year, and I'd use him to train Poe and my other dogs on. So this particular hunt, he's got a sow bailed down in the gully, and I'm right at the top, probably about 750 up, and we go all the way back down to the bottom. I think it must have been about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'd started very early that morning. Got to the bottom. I didn't film any of that because it was a bail up, and I just wanted to get to it and contain it. It ended up right in the riverbed. Stuck the pig, got it on my back, thought, sweet, we're all good to go home. Started humping it out and carrying it back to the truck, and I was probably, I don't know, only a kilometre away back to the truck, if that, and next minute Jim stuck his nose up in the air, and I thought, nah, don't go now mate. Tried to call him back in, but he was gone, back up the hill for another pig. Now I hadn't eaten, I think from memory I'd had a little bit of rice in the morning, and oh geez, I don't know what else I'd had, but stuff, or maybe a cup of coffee, I can't really remember, but I was on an empty stomach and I was really hungry, and I was tired, ready to hit the wall, and this dog had gone up the hill with my dogs trailing it, Poe and Buck and Meg, and off they went, and it showed up treed at 750, so they had the pig actually stopped. So if you're non-hunters, treed means the dogs have stopped the actual pig, they've got it contained, and here comes my daughter. Hello sweetheart, come on in honey, I'm just telling a story about, remember old Jim? Dirty old Jim? Borrowed him off Andy Miller?
Oh yeah, and you made dogs.
Yeah, that's one. I'm going to carry on here because I'm in the middle of a story. I'll talk to you soon sweetheart, okay?
It's all good.
Okay, so up the hill, and the pig broke and went further on and couldn't find it, and I'm just about ready to now hit the wall. I'm tired, it's getting later, and they're moving all the time. I called and called and called, and I could no longer actually call my throat anymore. Eventually I got my dogs all back in except Jim, and Jim was still miles out there. So I had to make the call, do I go out of the bush and leave and then come back the next day and try and find them? Or do I stay overnight, have a cold night in the bush? I didn't have any of my gear that I should have. I didn't have my emergency blanket, I didn't have my ration pack, I didn't have my personal locator beacon. I had another thing going on my mind was I'd actually hunted the day before with the dogs, and I hadn't fully charged their collars. So Jim's collar was going to run out, which meant that I would lose comms on where he was. So I made the call to stay in the bush, as close to him as I could, and try and find him the next morning. So with your collar and your tracking gear, what happens is it shows the last place the dog was at. Now he actually moved and came down towards me in the course of the night from memory, And correct me if I'm wrong, if you watch the movie, I'm pretty sure he came down a little bit, but he never came close to me. I think he got within 700 or 800 metres of me. So I slept under a log for the whole night, and what I had with me was I found in my, because I have a belt with little pockets on it and stuff, I found 2 Tuck's dog biscuits, and from memory there might have been a bit of dried liver. That was all I had. So that night I munched on 1 Tuck's dog biscuit, had that, and it tastes like shit, but when you're hungry it's good. And then the next morning I had another one, and then we set off trying to find Jim. My pig was still down below the gully where we caught it. I'd put it on the cool side of a tree so I could get that. Carried on up, and I became really disillusioned. It was just like, we're not going to find this dog. I got to the point finally, after a lot of walking, of where his last point was of staying. I found a sort of a bearded area where it looked like he'd been, and there's just no Jim around. I'm whistling and my throat's coarse. I'm whistling, and what I didn't know is that Jim had an obstruction in his bowel, and he was actually under a lot of pain and very uncomfortable. Had no idea about that. He hadn't displayed any shows of being in pain like animals don't. He'd hunted with a really bad stomach, actually something that could have killed him, which I didn't know about. Anyway, still going through the bush and whistling, and suddenly next minute there he is, just coming up wagging his tail like everything's sweet as, bro. And I'm like, holy. And I was just overcome with emotion. I was just like, oh man, I mean, he belonged to a mate, didn't want to lose him, but I just felt for the dog, and it's like, we got reunited, which was a feeling it's hard to share with you if you know what it's like when you've lost something that you really love, or someone you really love, or a dog you really love, and you come back together. It's like that moment of just, you know, hallelujah. So we got him back down the bottom of the hill, and he was walking okay, bit funny, but not bad. And all the other dogs picked up my pig, walked out. I do remember as I walked out, I picked up a cast antler, got him back to the truck, and got the pig on the truck, got everything sweet as in there. Now today, if that happened to me, I wouldn't have been hungry at all, because I'm now on a ketogenic diet, which I've been on for a year now, and I can go long periods without eating or getting hungry, and my energy level stays high. And I will be bringing you guys a special talk from Dr. Glenn Davies from the Taupo Medical Centre up in the North Island. So he's going to talk about the amazing superhuman strengths you can basically get from this diet, which are life-changing. Going back to the story, don't want to go off the track about that, but today I wouldn't have even missed being hungry. It wouldn't have been a problem. Back then it was a real struggle. So we're back at home, put him in his kennel, and he doesn't eat his food. And I think something's gone very, very wrong here. Something's not right. Come here, Pace, big boy. And I thought I need to get him checked out to the vet. And the vet said, has he been to the toilet? And I said, well, actually, no, he hasn't. And he was at the vet's in Stoke, which is not far from where I live, for 4 days. 4 different vets tried 4 different things, literally. The bill ran over $1,000. I'm pretty sure the video it shows you at the end of the vets. We picked up Jim. I paid the bill. They got the obstruction out of it's actually up his bum eventually. And this is quite common with larger breeds. He wasn't that large a breed, but what I'd done wrong is I'd been feeding him on brisket bone, and you're not eating that, mate. Just leave it, okay? Just calm down. I've been feeding him brisket bone. Brisket bone's good for just one bone, but if you feed your dogs a whole lot of brisket bone... Hey! I said don't eat that, okay? No, leave it. What are you eating anyway?
I ate my sauerkraut.
Not sauerkraut, what have you got there? He's found a little bit of bone or something. There, anyway, I'm trying to tell a story here. Leave it, okay? I want to finish this off. So anyway, he's all fixed up, get him back home, and I kept Jim for probably another 3 months. His stomach came right. I learned a lot from that. I learned a lot about preparation, what I call the stupid test or the idiot test before you go in the bush, things you always make sure you have, checks you put in place. I hope you enjoyed this throwback Thursday. Check out the video, I think it's called Hunting Challenges. Check it out, and maybe you can learn from my mistake. I'm going to talk to my daughter and see what's going on. Come here, honey, what's going on?
I did a duathlon.
You did a duathlon?
Yeah.
Really?
We were just training for it, but we did it.
How'd you go?
It was alright.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm very sore.
What place did you get?
We're just training for PE. We just do we've been doing a duathlon every couple sessions.
Right.
And so that's 2 kilometres run, then 10-kilometre bike, and then another 2-kilometre run afterwards.
Oh, awesome.
And it's just trying to get better times than the time before.
You're pretty fit though, are you fit for it?
Yeah.
Were you fit for it? Did you feel good?
Like, we've definitely, because we've been training all term, so it's like definitely been improving, which is cool.
She's a machine, my daughter. An absolute machine. Cycling, running, climbing, kayaking. I showed Glenn, that's Dr. Glenn Davis, I showed him your kayaking video. He said to me, you've got talent. He said, you're not, when you're paddling, he said, you're not just playing with the water, you're making every stroke count, decisive. So I'm proud of you, because he's a really good kayaker himself. Sorry guys, I've got the story off the, I got off the topic. I think I finished it. Hope you enjoyed it. Be good. If you can't be good, be careful. See you later. I'm going to catch up with my daughter. And don't kiss him.
Why not?
He's a dog.
But he wants the love.
Just give him a pat. They're not humans, you know, you've got to treat them a bit different.
Yeah, but the little puppy loves kissing me.
Oh jeez, no, don't do it, sweetheart.
It goes like, it comes up for a kiss.
Alright, you have a good day at school?
Mm.
I'm going to turn these cameras off.